Review. Ooh, let me just start. Yeah, so okay, this is a review of GigMit and GigMitPro, if it's worth going for the professional package or not. So I'll tell you what I found being a solo artist in the UK, in London, trying to find out whether GigMit is useful for any artists in the UK specifically, because I've watched GigMit for a while and I've seen, yeah, okay, cool. Um, it looks like it's got a lot of gigs in Europe, a lot of gigs internationally. But I wanted to get the pro version to check it out because I wanted to like really step up my level of performing around Europe, around internationally as well. So yeah, here is some of what I've got, what I found. So to be honest, let's just start off with it. So you do your artist page here, and I've done my artist page. I put up my songs. I mean, I think the artist page is quite useful. I feel like the artist page is a great little tool to send to other promoters, etc., so they can see what you want, what you are about straight away. As you can see here, it's got all my little information, my songs, bit of my live music video. So I put a video on there where I'm playing my drums live, and also you've got on here Spotify, all the YouTube videos, little blurb, and then I've got also the genres, etc., etc. So yeah, I think this artist page itself is quite useful. Gigs and calls. Now this is what I found really personally with my experience, and I'm still on. I've just set up this GigMit Pro, and so I wanted to. So I've applied for a few gigs here and there, but then from my perspective, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I've gone to gig applications, and on mine I can't see it. Yes, I do have my applications there. Brilliant. I'm glad we have my applications there because before I didn't see them. So great. I've got my applications here and I've applied for a few. I like this one indirect in Belgrade. That was quite interesting. And Waves Festival in Ireland. That looked pretty cool as well. Ireland, sorry, in Iceland. That was pretty good. And the Ment Festival in Ljubljana. That's a really good one as well. Looked pretty good, interesting. So, I mean, I've applied for a few here, as you can see. But the problem I find personally is specifics. So, for instance, if I'm so what they've recommended for me to do personally on here, or not personally for everybody, as you can see here, boost your bookings, get started now by promoting your by reaching out to promoters directly anyway, which you would do anyway without a GigMit Pro anyway, for example, and you can find you can find loads of information just by scouring, right? And so you would do that anyway. So to take GigMit and do it like that, they're not really offering you anything that you wouldn't do outside of that anyway. So I'm struggling to see what the USP is initially. Yeah, so when I was going back here in gigs and calls, so I've looked on gigs and calls now, and so for example, if I go in, so my music's quite experimental, electronic, sort of like alternative, avant-garde music, and so I've gone to live artists, for example, and then I've just put in a music genre, a city, London, for example, and and then I put a 200 km distance, and I've shown the results. And okay, so they've got a few festivals. If you look here, we've got Outsider Festival 1, U Bloom 2, this one here, Arcadia, and then a consistent run of acoustic Sunday sessions. Then we go back to U Bloom, this Music Night one again, that's like a pub gig. Do you know what I mean? If we even have a look at this one on Music Night, it's a pub gig. Where is it? It says it down here. Yeah, busy 2 hours. Artists and musicians need for 2 hours on a Friday night. Try great music pub in a busy pub opposite in Clapham Junction. Yeah, so it's not really like a festival or a proper gig, is it? It's more like do you know what I mean, like a blues kitchen type thing. And yeah, so or just background music. It's not really a gig. But yeah, let's go back and have a look at that. You got this one as well, which is interesting, but again, it's not really for bands, it's for DJs. I think this one is specifically, which is Afro Bash. But yeah, which is what I need to go back and do, make some changes in the search. But if you look there, you see it wasn't really like for UK artists specifically, there wasn't much information there. So if I go to music genres, here, live artists, put London in there again, it's like that's kind of like the epicenter. There's a lot of for Europe. There's a lot of music. I'm not being Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of music in London. We know that, right? And so feel like they could have serviced more. And like, there we go. That's it. That's as far as we've got. We've got. So my preferences were 200 km from London. Let's try 500 km now. I had 200 km London live artists only, and that was all that they gave. And this thing is like, what is it? 20 quid a month. So as someone who's coming directly on here, trying to see what's offered, etc., etc., it's not really tantalizing for me personally when you can't book any local gigs and stuff like that. And then a lot of the UK. So then we'll look at the European gigs in a minute, but I mean, you can just see the ones that I've applied for on gig applications. It just doesn't seem that much. But yeah, where have we gone now? We've got, what's our filter? So yeah, I did 500 km. That was it. So we look at 500 km. What have we got? Same again, really, isn't it? Nothing. So, and obviously this is for DJs. This isn't for acts. So that's it. Do you know what I mean? So personally, I don't think I'll be continuing the thing. But now let's take London out of it, for example. Let's try and make it a little bit more opened up, more universal, shall we say? Did I take it off? No. Oh, clear the search. That's fine. Yeah, clear the search. And okay, I mean, it doesn't tell you how many. Did you check the calls? There are more than 60 calls. So we'll check the calls anyway, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. But yeah, you've got a fair few. Again, that Bristol one. It just isn't, and it also doesn't seem very varied in musical genres. It seems quite similar, to be honest with you, and generalized. They're not really like specifics as well. What you would find, it seems like it's very tarnished with the same brush. But there's a few here and there, but nothing worth paying £20 a month for sure. Definitely not worth paying £20 a month for. Do you know what I mean? And you think, you look at it from when you're not paying, you think, oh yeah, I could just get one of these £200 gigs, and that would pay for the subscription anyway. And then I'll get more, and then I'm in profit. But there's just not enough on there. So I just want to wrap my little one up, please, because I'm not really impressed, really. Festivals and venues, and you've got to go out and send out all these festivals and venues. You've got to do the scouring. That's great. But what am I paying for? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, and also, if you're telling me to go and, you're telling me to go and, you're telling me to go and, apply for all these promoters, etc. Again, it's something that I can do outside of this. And also at the same time, why do I have to do that? What am I paying for again? Am I paying to do the legwork? Because you can find this. So it doesn't make any sense, really, to be honest with you. But it's a shame. It's actually a shame, because obviously I've purchased it and I purchased it with the intent of it working and me finding some more gigs internationally or around Europe. And it doesn't seem like it's going to offer that service. So back to square one on that one, but I'll just find out a few more different places, etc., see what else I can find. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like GigMit is the one for this, unfortunately. But we'll move on, see what else we can find, and maybe I'll take you on a journey with me.